Hey there, comic colleagues and superhero supporters. Did you know that She-Hulk once fought Thanos and won? Technically. Did you know that this whole battle took place in Thanos' mind? Well, if you didn't know, let me tell you about it. Welcome back to the exciting conclusion of She-Hulk's time as a Magistrati, agent of
The Living Tribunal.
The events of this story are covered in She-Hulk Volume 2, Issues 12 and 13. We begin our story not with She-Hulk, but on the planet Titan. On this day, Eros, aka Starfox, is being put on trial for some unseemly accusations of him misusing his attraction powers on others. However, these court proceedings are unlike anything we've seen before. Eros must take part in Titan's most sacred ritual, the Shao Lam mind trial. In this trial, the defendant is placed in what is known as the judgment chair, and their mind is linked to a telepathic priestess. From there, the priestess will convey all the defendant's testimony telepathically. This technique is done so that testimony is free of any perjury. Once the trial is about to begin, they are suddenly disrupted by the Magistrati. The Magistrati claim that the court case is unjust due to the defendant being accused of off-world crimes. Since Eros is accused of breaking Earth laws, they demand that their Earthbound agent be allowed to observe the trial. This Earthbound agent is none other than Jen Walters, aka She-Hulk. Once our giant green gal makes her appearance, the case officially begins. The first witness to take the stand is Mentor, father of Eros and leader of Titan. In Mentor's testimony, he shows that his son is a hero that lives to serve the common good. He's shown to be a generous man who uses his gift to spread joy and give pleasure to others. He's the closest of friends to the noblest of men and is grateful for knowing them. While this is a great start to the case, we seem to take a few steps back when Pip the Troll, friend of Eros, takes the stand as a witness next. In Pip's testimony, Eros is shown to be a fun-loving party guy that everyone wishes to be around, whether it be guys or gals. Pip then continues his testimony with the abundance of women that hang around Eros and how they're unable to keep their hands off of him. However, once Pip says this, he realizes that this court case revolves around Eros abusing his love powers and cuts his testimony short. The next person to take the stand is She-Hulk. In her testimony, She-Hulk reveals that Eros was her friend, a teammate that she trusted. However, there was a night when the two made love. She asked Starfox if it was real or if he used his love powers on her. Starfox responds that he did use his powers on She-Hulk, but it was when she was with her at-the-time boyfriend, John Jameson Jr. This revelation angers She-Hulk and causes her to go on a tirade. The priestess, Moondragon, and Captain Marvel try to subdue She-Hulk, but in her rage, she is unstoppable. The fight is quelled only when a Titan official calls off the fight due to a grave danger approaching. The official senses a familiar energy pattern, and a dimensional portal breaches Titan's defenses. The one who steps out of this portal is none other than Thanos, brother to Eros. The Mad Titan says that he wishes to testify on his loving brother's behalf. When Mentor attempts to stop Thanos, he tells his father that it's his right as a brother, due to the laws of Titan, to testify. And with that, Thanos begins his testimony. He tells of a time before their sibling rivalry, a time when they were friends, playmates, and confidants. They spent their days running through the fields of Titan, chasing after creatures known as Stumpodons. That is, until one day when Thanos finally catches one and accidentally kills it. Thanos was grief-stricken and wanted to take the Stumpodon to their father, but it was too late. Even the great strength of Mentor was powerless before death. Thanos then cried to mourn his fallen friend and proclaimed that he hated death. To console his brother, Eros told Thanos that it wasn't his fault and that death was a part of life. Thanos' testimony then takes a turn with what he says next. He testifies that Eros reached out to him with his powers and said that he should embrace death with all of his heart. He claims that after Eros' speech, he gained clarity and was put on his true path to become a lover of death and pain. If it weren't for Eros, then Thanos wouldn't be who he was today. Eros is then proclaimed to be guilty. Shock and surprise fill the face of everyone in the courtroom, all but She-Hulk. She speaks out and calls shenanigans on Thanos, demanding to re-examine the evidence. Once Thanos agrees to these terms, Moondragon links She-Hulk's mind directly to his. When she arrives in Thanos' Mindscape, she is immediately met with a problem. The memory they were previously shown was being blocked by a mental barrier. However, the barrier is no match for She-Hulk, and she effortlessly punches through it. Behind the barrier, we are shown fragments of a memory where Thanos is creating clones of himself and imbuing them with his own essence. Due to Thanos' outrageous mental strength, he notices that She-Hulk is watching the memory and changes it before it can finish. She-Hulk is then teleported to a time when he felt more in control, the time when Thanos was in possession of the Cosmic Cube. Thanos immediately drains She-Hulk of her gamma radiation and charges in for an attack. She is only saved when Starfox and Captain Marvel, step in and defeat Thanos, ending the memory. We are then propelled through Thanos' memories, briefly visiting the time when he constructed a giant soul gem and finally settling on his biggest triumph, the time when he wielded the Infinity Gauntlet. She-Hulk, with the help of Starfox, attempts to fight off the Mad Titan, and at the same time, She-Hulk's werewolf husband, Star-God, arrives on Titan and attacks Thanos in real life. Thanos defends well against both onslaughts, but finally decides to give his full attention to Star-God when he elbows him in the face. Now that Thanos has disappeared and the two can breathe peacefully, She-Hulk asks Eros once again if he used his powers on her to sleep with him. Eros claims that he did not use his powers on her. He used naught but his natural charms to entice the Jade Giantess. Once that is cleared up, the two proceed toward the memory that was previously hidden. In the memory, we are shown that while constructing his clones, Thanos devised a plan. He commanded his henchwoman, Seductra, to act as a damsel in distress in order to lure Starfox into a classic Cosby cocktail trap. Once passed out, he was brought to Thanos' lair. While there, Eros was implanted with a false memory that would ensure his guilt, and then Thanos gave a clone of his that same memory. Once She-Hulk has heard enough, she breaks the mind link and calls Thanos out for what he truly is, a fake. She then gives the fake Thanos a beatdown he will never forget. We then find ourselves in the aftermath of the case. It is revealed that Thanos' device has caused Eros brain damage, and this is why his powers have been beyond his control. Moondragon proposes that she could shut off his powers, but the procedure would be irreversible. Starfox claims that after having his mind tampered with in such a cavalier fashion, he would never dream of using his powers again, and he agrees to get rid of them. He is then given the task of traveling to all the neighboring systems to seek forgiveness from his victims. Only then will his good name be restored. Well, there you have it. She-Hulk goes head-to-head with Thanos and clears Starfox's name. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Come back next week where we'll finally be covering the marriage between She-Hulk and a werewolf. If you did enjoy, give the video a like and a comment. Also, be sure to subscribe for more comic coverage.